So Sheila, the next item, and it's in your neck of the woods, and I'm going to let you do the heavy lifting here because I know you have researched this far more than I have. And it's about, I mean, I can't believe I'm reading this. Deena Hinshaw is back in Alberta, or is she? I'm getting all kinds of mixed messages that this was a fabricated memo. She is actually going to be coming back. Sheila, explain.
Well, here's the thing. We don't really know. What they're saying is she's not employed right now. But it looks as though, and I didn't see it when it first was published. All I saw was a screenshot published by sort of a lefty, what we call Under the Dome Watcher website. So Under the Dome, that's the building behind me there. That's, I don't know, it's all backwards. But anyways, they call that Under the Dome. And so these are people who, they're journalists, I'll give them that, who sort of pay attention to the comings and goings in the legislature, whatever. So they saw that Deena Hinshaw had been rehired, or maybe somebody sent it to them that said that Deena Hinshaw had been rehired. And it was this memorandum. It's for the Indigenous Wellness Corps. And they say they're pleased to announce that Dr. Deena Hinshaw has selected as the Indigenous Wellness Corps Public Health and Preventative Medicine Lead. So this is the memorandum that was published on June 1st, 2023. Now, it was published to Twitter. I never saw this from the AHS website, so I can't confirm or deny. What I do know is there's a very vague statement out there now from Alberta Health Services, and they say AHS does not speak to personnel matters, but then they do speak to personnel matters in the very next sentence. Dr. Hinshaw is not employed by AHS, so that's Alberta Health Services. AHS is reviewing the position and remains firmly committed to working with Indigenous communities and working to improve health outcomes for all communities and populations. So that's June 3rd. So after that hit the, social media and everybody got mad. But can we go back to that memorandum just for a second, please? Because I thought I saw, and I can't remember, when she starts. Okay, so this is the thing. If you go down to the very bottom, it says she will begin her new role June 5th, 2023.
Today.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if they rescinded their offer to her, but what I do know is technically then that statement from Alberta Health Services from June 3rd was true, because she was not at that point employed by Alberta Health Services. So I think maybe some of these public health deep state bureaucrats thought they could rehire their buddy Deena. The public noticed, and I think they rescinded this. But when they issued that statement on the 3rd, technically, yes, she had not been working for Alberta Health Services at the time. So I think in that 5-day leeway, a lot of things changed. I think they hired her on paper. Her start date didn't happen. So they're like, back up the cart. And so I think that's what happened there. So technically things were said that were true, but I think she was rehired.
And this is what they call in our business journalism and in law, folks, weasel words.
Yeah.
But here's the big question for you, Sheila Gunn-Reid. Where do you think, say this is true, where do you think Premier Danielle Smith weighs in on this?
Oh, I think she's probably the reason that the offer was rescinded, because Deena Hinshaw was unceremoniously fired in a press release right after the premier was selected as the leader of the United Conservative Party. It was one of the first things she did was turf out old Deena Hinshaw, who glided down on her golden parachute to a great job in BC. I think the premier intervened here for sure, because it was one of the first things she did was get rid of Deena Hinshaw.
Yeah. Well, another thumbs up for Premier Smith then. And again, as you mentioned, Sheila, an example of weasel words, quote, AHS doesn't speak to personnel matters, Dr. Henshaw is not employed by AHS, end quote. Well, you just spoke to personnel matters.
Right.
I got the same rubbish from Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment when John Tory's mistress magically got a six-figure job with John Tory, the disgraced ex-mayor of Toronto. He's very well connected with the Rogers people who are co-owners of MLSE. And it was almost exactly the same. We do not comment on employment matters at MLSE. However, we can tell you that Emily Hillstrom received the job based on qualifications. Wait a minute, I thought you couldn't comment. Now you're commenting.
I know.
You're having it both ways. Right?
Well, and then they get you on a technicality. She's not currently employed with AHS. Why? Because this is one of the 5 days before her contract kicked in that we caught you on? Yeah.
Yeah. It goes back to Bill Clinton trying to explain the lie, I did not have sex with that woman, which was,
It depends. It depends on the meaning of is, right? Depends what you mean by what is or whatever he said.
Too bad he's not the current president, because the way he would answer that today, Sheila, is, what's a woman?
His dentures would just fall out.
That's a clip from something we call Rebel News Daily. It's our daily live stream hosted by my friend David Menzies, but the show also includes a rotating cast of hosts and special guests, including me. It's a great way for us to talk about the news of the day as the news is happening in an unscripted fashion, and it's an awesome way for you to interact with us as well. We stream every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, wherever you find Rebel News. See you there.